Now with having to put an R1 in it, the rear axle's probably not going to work. The chain situation is not going to work.
I'm running into problems everywhere I turn with it.
Go get your greasy clothes on, and we just start cutting into stuff.
Guy that has
Oh yeah,
twin Hayabusa, nasty go-kart.
it's a Mini Cooper.
All right, guys, welcome back to the PeckBrothers show. We've got another episode this week, and before we get into that, we just wanted to thank you guys for all of the comments that you guys have left on our video about the mini trophy truck, because it really made it fun to try to pick a motor and do what we're going to do with that thing. So
there's almost 4,000 comments on that video.
Holy
we
crap.
found the world's smallest trophy truck.
What's an average of what we're normally getting?
An average, we're normally like 400 or 500 comments. So I don't know how to do the math on that, but that's like,
if it was 400, that'd be 10 times.
10 times the amount of comments.
We had no idea the traction that this little mini trophy truck would get, and I got to give credit where credit's due. This has been something that Caleb had been, like, talking about, this future project that he wouldn't tell me and Alex about for a long time, and it had to have been the trophy truck.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, I mean, the video portrayed the fact that, we went to the southern border, and you guys had no idea. And I kept thinking to myself, it's kind of funny that we're here. It's kind of a joke. But if no one cares to watch this mini trophy truck, I'm going to feel like an idiot. Because, at the end of the day, we're making videos that hopefully people are interested in. And, you hope when you go out on a limb like that it, more or less pays off and people love it. And it did. So I'm just grateful for that.
Well, all in all, like, when you step back and you look at all the videos that we make, like, it usually goes back to our younger selves. Like, what would we have thought was cool back in the day? And if you remember, you guys helped me a little bit with this. I was building one of those, essentially very similar to that thing, in the garage when I was like 10. I took tape and taped it on the floor of Mom and Dad's garage floor, and I designed the chassis, and I was going to bend up the tube and weld it all up before I knew how to do any of that. I was just going to pie cut everything, weld it with a welder I didn't even know how to weld with. But, like, that kind of project has been something that is really something that we would have loved to do when we were younger anyway, so it's fun to be doing that now.
Dude, when I was little at Christmas time, there were like several years that we would go, open Christmas presents in the basement all together. We'd come down, they'd film it. They were all excited, and I would like sneak upstairs and go open the garage to make sure Santa Claus didn't leave a go-kart in the garage, like he couldn't get it in the basement, because I literally wished for that like every year for literally like 5 years. And it was never there. Mom and Dad were like, no, we're not doing the go-kart thing, because normally it seems like go-karts aren't super reliable, and it's like, I don't want to buy this go-kart and then have it broke down, in the next month.
Go-karts aren't as cool to me anymore because they're just piles of junk. They never run right. They vibrate, apart, and there's zero suspension. But this is different. Like, the chassis is so thought out and so well built, but even more than that, the suspension is absolutely wild.
It's insane.
Like, the fact that it can, like, it just doesn't, you got to ride in it. Like, watching it's one thing, but jumping it and riding in it, somebody did something right, and that makes it insanely cool to me. And so now I'm attached to this thing because it will be able to handle more speed and bigger jumps. It just needs more power.
Well, that's kind of what we're talking about a little bit today, is that we are trying to fit this new R1 engine into this trophy truck. And partially, like you said, you couldn't tell from the videos how well the suspension worked. I mean, we mobbed it down that hill and jumped it. We were like 5 feet in the air jumping that thing, landing straight to flat. And it didn't even hurt. Like you almost didn't even feel it.
You expect your spine to compress,
Yeah.
and like it was just a pillow.
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
crazy.
it bent the rear axle. The rear axle was completely bent and shot. But I'm excited. I mean, obviously, I'm excited to get this motor in because there's a bunch of stuff that we're planning on doing with it. But one of them is like to be able to showcase that suspension. We just couldn't show how cool it was because the motor's so horrible. Like in that video when we were on the track, like we couldn't even get it going fast enough to like show everyone how good it mobs.
And the stupid chain situation it has. Like, the motor's one thing, but you can't even drive it more than 10 feet without the chain falling off, and then you tension it, and it doesn't work. It's just a terrible design from the factory. And so now with having to put an R1 in it, that's not going to sit where that other motor sat. The rear axle's probably not going to work. The chain situation is not going to work. So Brady's been designing a whole new rear end essentially for that thing because the one that's in it can't even handle this 5 horsepower motor.
Well, let me
And
throw this
how's
out.
that coming?
Yeah. I can't say it's been going great because I'm running into problems everywhere I turn with it. As soon as I get a good grasp on, okay, this is going to be it, it's like, okay, where's the brake rotor going to go? How do we get the brake rotor off and house it to this axle? It's going to be probably 100% one-off, fully custom, no factory parts, maybe just the hubs or something, but like you go to a Banshee or a YFZ 450 or a TRX 450 or whatever, those are pretty dang stout rear ends for the most part, especially if you're going to get an upgraded heavy-duty one, but they can only go so big. The bearings are only so big, and, you know,
I mean, that axle's designed to hold like 50 horsepower.
50, 80 horse maybe.
And like an 80-pound kid.
And like,
Yeah.
well, no.
180-pound
180-pound guy,
In
you
the
know,
go-kart?
on a YFZ.
No,
Oh,
YFZ.
sorry. I thought you
No,
were talking
dude, the
about
go-kart's probably like 15 horsepower max,
Yeah.
maybe 10.
So all these guys that I'm calling, like trying to source parts and like design this thing, I'm talking to guys and they're like, dude, you realize that this rear end is built for something with like 50 horsepower and you're going to put 200 to it?
Unless
What
we
do you-
turbo it, then it's going to be like 250.
What do you think's going to happen? And I'm just like, nobody makes anything.
Dude, we thought we had it, though. We thought we had it with the, what are those called?
drag axles,
No, it was
sprint car.
sprint car, a mini sprint car, because they've got some serious juice, those mini sprint cars. And like, we were all excited about it. I was kind of talking to somebody, you were talking to somebody, we were trying to get it in, and we found out they're too wide.
And
they
they're
don't ma-
aluminum.
And they're aluminum. They've got aluminum parts in it, and they're too wide. And so it's like, what? So is the plan to make a fully? Because I think it's like we've already explained the fact that we can't put a 200 horsepower motor in that thing and use the suspension and rear axle. That's clear. So are we going to be making a fully custom rear axle?
I before Alex told me to come up here to shoot this podcast, I was working on that. I'm in the middle of it, but it's looking like we're building a fully custom 100% rear axle.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but the hard thing is like nobody that I have found, I've called, I've asked for referrals, nobody can give me anything that's like, yeah, it might hold up. Everybody's like, dude, not even close. I'm like,
Really?
oh my gosh. So really, essentially, all those comments, you know, people saying, put an R1, put a superbike motor. It's an awesome idea, but actually packaging it and making that work is a whole other thing.
I was going to say it's nice that we don't have to touch the front, but in all reality, we should put front brakes on it because it doesn't even have front brakes. The suspension's good, but it's got to have front brakes if it's got 200
I mean,
horsepower.
the front brakes on that R1, it's got dual rotors, dual calipers, and they're dang near the size of the wheel.
They're huge.
But again, it's like, you go trying to put, me and Brady were talking about this, you go try and put like a YFZ spindle on that, all of a sudden, where the wheel pivots on it is now different. And so it's like, messes up possibly the steering in the front, and we all know how the steering being a problem worked on that on the R6 YFZ. You need good steering with no power steering. Like, you need good geometry.
I think it's going to be, this is a wild project. Like, this is an absolute mind-boggling project, at least for me in my mind. We've built that Chinese mini truck with a turboed LS motor that's, I mean, that thing rips. That thing's cool. A lot of people said it couldn't be done, and we did it. You know, we've done the mini Jeeps, 1,000cc four-wheel drive mini Jeep that's nobody had ever really seen other than, you know, guys like Grindhard, which did it a little bit differently. Like,
and the 450 pit bike.
450 pit bike.
450 pit bike was an undertaking.
Definitely.
That was a big one.
Definitely. This one is pushing my limits of, like, how my brain understands it.
This is new. Like, we're so used to big motors and big axles, you know.
The four-wheel drive scene, like, crawling, maybe going fast.
It's easier for our heads to wrap around it because we've been doing it for so long. Then it's like independent front suspension. We know nothing about that yet.
Well, we don't have CAD. Like, we're not CAD guys. We're cardboard and
a bench
and
grinder.
A ruler with a grinder. Like, you're not building an independent front suspension that works good doing that. I don't care who you are.
And the kicker to this whole thing too is the fact that us three are the only ones going to be working on it. Like, we don't have a guy that's like, hey, you know, throw this R1 in this thing and we'll come back in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and we need to figure out how to do it in a pretty timely manner, because a lot of this stuff is like, you know, I hate dragging stuff out.
Yeah. Well, people don't understand that, like, okay, I need to take this piece of DOM for the rear swing arm, and I'm going to need to machine a piece inside for a C-clip, and that C-clip has to be the right tension for that bearing to not pop out. And if, you know, the machine shop we bring it to, hey, we can get to it in about 12 business days. What are we going to do for the video that week? You know, we're in trouble.
We order stuff.
We have to figure out how to get a lathe.
We just need all of, like, it's not just a lathe.
Well, we need a
all kinds of
lathe
parts
and a
for it.
mill. A lathe, a mill, and some sort of, like,
and someone to use it.
Plasma.
We don't know how to flip and use a mill.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Figure our way around a lathe, you know, easy enough. We're good with a grinder, and that's it. So using all that stuff, I'd love CAD. I'd love a plas table. I don't even know how to use any of it.
Well, we've never done it.
Yeah, we've never
tapped
done it.
into it.
But I did want to talk about too, like, with this engine, there's probably going to need to be multiple chains and jack shafts and weird stuff, which is going to be hard. But the runner-up engine, like a snowmobile engine with a primary and a secondary clutch, we started going down that rabbit hole if that was going to be the one. That would be tough because everything has to be so precise. Those clutches have to be lined up perfectly, or else you just blow belts like crazy. And that would also be really hard.
We talked about that. Me and Brady were talking that we would literally just cut the whole engine mount off the snowmobile and figure out how to mount that whole thing to the back of the trophy truck.
Really?
Well, you're like, it has to be within 10,000th.
I think it was 3,000.
Or maybe it's 3,000. Or no. I think it's, No. A tenth of an inch or something like that. 0.010. That's how close that belt and primary and secondary have to be for it to not blow belts.
Any engine swap in this thing would be tough, just because of the way that the rear axle's set up, and it would also be cool to do independent rear suspension with a little diff and axles. But
we talked about that too, and that still might be. Is that still on the table?
Well, I kind of got rid of that idea just because the idea is to get this thing to be a trophy truck, and no trophy truck has independent rear suspension. They all have more or less a solid rear axle and trailing arms that just eat the whoops. A-arms do too, but I mean, this thing's gonna bomb the whoops. It is gonna bomb the whoops.
How big of tires are we doing? And wheels.
I measured. I think they're going to be 24-inch tires, and I think the wheels are going to be either 12 or 15s.
And what's on it?
What's on
Tire size? Is it like 18s or something?
I don't remember. I don't
Or
know.
just lawnmower tires. So I think with bigger tires, a big motor, and it'll be a little bit heavier, but sometimes heavier is better for bombing whoops. Like trophy trucks are 8,000, 9,000 pounds, and they're flying through whoops. So we add a little bit of weight. We might throw a gas tank in the front to balance out the weight, and we'll have to probably do spring rates, get a little bit heavier spring. But man, after this thing is done,
It's going to be the coolest thing we've ever made by far.
Well,
terrifying.
If anybody, most of the people on here listening probably have heard of that Liam Durham guy that has that
Oh yeah,
twin Hayabusa nasty go-kart.
it's
drag
a Mini
thing.
Cooper. It's a Mini Cooper.
It's
body
full. Okay, well, but it's full on tube chassis.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
sick.
This thing is probably gonna weigh, a fair amount lighter than his,
Oh yeah,
and be pushing, 200. His has 2 of them, but like it's gonna be in that caliber.
Yeah.
We're definitely not gonna be beating him, I don't think, in no race.
Flip no.
But like, it's gonna probably turn a corner and wheelie out of it. Like it
That's
is
the
going
goal.
to be
Is it-
unreal.
his is all-wheel drive, I think.
No,
no,
Isn't it?
no,
Two-wheel.
no, just rear.
each
I don't-
motor
I
is
feel
hooked
like-
to each side.
The only reason I think that is because he can do a cyclone, and his front is pulling him, I swear. I'm going to pull up a video.
Yeah, pull up a video. That thing, and ever since I saw that first, I was like, dude,
It was cool.
it was so cool.
Yep.
And I want to do something like that to where we like somehow slam the trophy truck, and we do take it out to the drift track and put some fat rear slicks on it. That thing, it's gonna be so freaking fast.
Caleb thinks that this thing's going to drift, and I'd love to hear comments of what everybody thinks about that. I think the wheelbase is way too short for it to really slide well, and it doesn't turn sharp enough.
We might need to angle kit the front somehow. We might need to figure out how to make it turn sharper.
I don't think you can just do that. That's a seriously engineered.
Yeah,
type of deal.
probably is. Is it? Are you looking it up? Does it look like? I there's no way it's 4-wheel drive. No way.
We looked at it at SEMA last year.
SEMA's going on right now, isn't it? Or was it? Yeah, it's this week.
This week, yeah.
This week. Yeah.
Maybe it's not 4-wheel drive. I swear he would do those cyclones, and to do a good cyclone, you got to be in 4-wheel drive. But he just wheelie donuts.
Dude,
Front
it's
wheel
nuts.
drive don't
crazy.
do him any good.
That
That's
means
true.
that means that it's we got a 1-year anniversary from that SEMA bit with Brady in the Vegas outfit.
You should have wore that today.
Yeah.
Should've. Maybe
What
I'll
the
wear
flip?
that in the video. Build a custom rear end in my SEMA outfit.
Dude, that was probably my favorite bit we've ever filmed. That was so funny. It turned out so freaking funny.
That was pretty good. I was uncomfortable for Brady.
Looking back at that, like when I watched that that scene, I'm like, wow. Like we hadn't been home for a while, and I didn't have a razor, and it was just Joe Dirt hair,
Yeah.
facial
David
hair.
Spade looking
I was
facial
like,
hair.
Wow. I feel like I'm not like a super ugly guy, but like when I look at that, I'm like, geez, that was me. But you know what? We had fun.
And now you got to look back on it.
I would go back again because I really don't mind being that guy that like I don't need to feel cool or look cool. I don't really care,
Yeah.
I'd do it again every day of the week. It was just funny, it was just fun.
Was that the day that we walked past a guy who kind of looked like Post Malone, and you yelled out the window? You're like, "Are you Post Malone?" He said something funny back, and it was like, that guy, he had a beard. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I don't know. Trolling people's kind of fun sometimes.
Oh, it's best.
You're probably the best at it too. You can keep a straight face, dude. This bug,
Yeah.
what's going on?
You want me to get him? I got a hat.
We might need to get him. That reminds me, one of the first podcasts, we have a bad, they're called box elder bugs, we have a bad problem here. Like millions of them in the shop, and there was one that was crawling up my arm in a podcast, and somebody commented on it. Yeah. It's because they're everywhere here.
It's whack though, because they don't like bite you. They don't. They're definitely not as annoying as flies. They don't like come and hit you in the face. and
Yeah,
crap,
they
but-
do. They dive bomb you for sure. They'll end up in your hair. They just don't bite or leave any marks or like.
No, they're harmless.
They're not that
Yeah.
bad.
They're just
but they're just annoying.
But you, no joke, on like the broad side of your house where the sun is shining on it, or you look down at the ground, it looks like it's crawling. It looks
Yeah.
like it's moving.
Like it
because
could be
of
an
its
apocalypse.
gross. Yeah, there's so many of them.
I'm not kidding. I bet you from the time, because they come in the fall every year, from the time they wake up to when they die, that season, there has to be a million of them here.
Way more.
More than a
Way
million?
more. Oh, yeah.
Dude, they're piles of just dead ones we sweep up daily.
I want to say
It's
the
so
females
bad.
are laying like 15,000 eggs every time or something like. It's something
Oh.
nuts.
So yeah, if you see bugs crawling over us, it's probably those.
Dude, I just need to take a second and really think, like, I'm just so grateful that we finally have Alex on the snowmobile. Like, he's got the snowmobile bug. Big time.
It's bad too.
And it's never happened before. How many years have we been trying to get this to happen?
Oh, a long time. But
5 years.
the thing about the viewers here is they don't know about our passion for snowmobiling yet. Like, we haven't really portrayed that in any of our videos, because really you had your own sled last year, and that was the first sled.
No, I had
Yeah,
a.
You
one
had
more
one
before
before
that.
that.
Yeah, the year
Yep.
me and Lou got married, I bought a snowmobile
Yep.
and sold it and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't really. Yeah, we dropped that one video, and part of it was because like
Which video?
the cheap versus expensive snowmobile video, and part of that is like, we can't just like go head first into this stuff, because if our audience doesn't like it and it gets no views, we probably ain't gonna have the lights on the next month at the shop. Like, our videos need to get a baseline of XYZ views, but everybody seemed to really like that video. And so this year we're gonna keep leaning more into the snowmobile videos, and we've got some freaking awesome ones planned. But I'm so excited. Like, aside from the videos too, Alex, he's got it bad. I mean, the guy went and spent way more than he should have or wanted to spend on that snowmobile. Like, what?
It was a good deal.
What
That's
was it
why I
that did it for you? Like what was the final straw?
Last year, we have a buddy, his name's Chance, and he races for the Rimshaw. It's like a snowmobile hill climb league event, whatever. And he took us up. Well, he borrowed me a sled. These two were on their sleds, and it was the perfect day ever for snowmobiling. Like, I'm not kidding. There was probably 4 feet of fresh overnight powder, and that was the funnest day I've ever had. Like, I've had some decently fun days. There's like a couple.
Like, the day you
times I
got
can
married was
remember.
okay.
No, I'm talking snowmobile days.
Oh, okay.
There's been a couple fun ones where I'm like, yeah, this is fun, but I'm not gonna drop $15,000 on a sled and gear. It's not that fun. But that trip, I think that's what really made me want one of my own, because riding somebody else's sled, it's not as fun. Obviously, it's fun to get out, but you can't go crazy. You just feel bad. And I ended up wrecking that sled on accident. And so I'm like, that's not any fun. But that's the trip that got me. And ever since that trip, I've been wanting to go back. And I'm like, I don't want to borrow anyone else's sled. I have to buy my own. And they look cool. I don't know. This year, I just got excited about it and dropped the money and bit me in the butt, kind of. Luckily, we're going to be able to fix it for a lot less than we thought.
We did
But-
figure out what was wrong. The video ended off.
We didn't figure out what happened.
Well,
We still don't know why it did that.
but the crankshaft, we came to the conclusion the crankshaft's good,
Crankshaft's
right?
good. Yeah, I took it to 2 different people, and they both told me the bearings are perfect, the crank's perfect, everything's perfect. So that's not why it failed. So that's good news.
Yeah. The consensus is totally open. Like we know kind of what happened. Something got in there, but we have no idea what.
And there's people commenting on the video that saw it, and they're like, "That's detonation." But what we didn't show is the head is also. It looks like it got shot by a shotgun. So detonation would just be on the piston, but there's something that got in the cylinder that the piston was hitting into the head. So something got in that motor. We don't know what, but luckily
So tell
it just
me
took the
this.
piston
Tell me
out.
this. If that piece that was in their cylinder somehow escaped, could that motor just theoretically last for as long as normal? Because if there's nothing in there that's tearing it up, the crank bearing's fine.
The
You could have just
piston-
kept running it.
Yeah, but it was starting to make marks on the cylinder.
Oh, was it?
Luckily, it was caught early enough that he honed it and everything looked fine. But I started to wonder if whatever was in there is now in the turbo. We might need to take that turbo apart and see if there's any chunks in there, because that's where it would go, right? If it came out of the exhaust valves, it would go straight into the turbo.
Yeah, but it's not going to get stuck in the exhaust side of the turbo. Crap moves through there. Like, you can, like back in the day, they used to say to drill your EGT probe in your up pipe, and shards and crap would get right in there, and they're just like, it's just going to blow out the back. The
wonder
exhaust side of your turbo is pretty tough.
I wonder if we cut the stock can open and see if there's anything in there. There's chunks of something. Kind of a cool science experiment.
I mean, well, back to like just the snowmobile in general thing. We haven't been into it for very long. I mean, you were how old when your wife got you into it?
Yeah, I've been married almost 10 years. 10 years next year, and I bought her a sled.
And her family snowmobiled forever.
Yeah. Well, if we go back even further, when we were little, Dad brought home 2
Oh yeah.
triple XLTs that he got for some, I think a guy owed him money or something and gave him some sleds. 2 old turds. They ran.
They were Polaris Indies.
We would tool them around the backyard and have a blast with them. The one thing I remember, well, 2 things. We were always trying to siphon gas, into them so we could ride them. And I remember getting fuel all over, like my pants soaked it up, and that my legs burned because they were bright red.
Yeah.
Like my pants were soaked in gas.
Do you guys remember calling Dad? There'd be like an inch of snow.
I was just going to say that.
Dad, is
We
there
would
enough?
Sit on the back porch and watch it snow, and as soon as you could just see the tips of the grass, just barely enough snow to barely cover the grass. Dad, can we ride them?
And we lived in the neighborhood.
Yeah. No
Like-
more than a half acre to just tool around
just
with.
to go do circles.
Yep. And then the other memory that I remember is somebody had piled up a big excavator, a whole bunch of dirt that was probably how tall?
It had to have been 5 feet tall.
Oh, I thought it was bigger than that. I just said
5 or
10. It was huge.
It was pretty
Holy-
big.
All right, between 5 and 10 feet tall of just this mound of dirt from an excavator.
Yeah, and first, I hadn't had much experience on a sled at all, just around the yard. I'm like, I'm going to go hit that, It's snow soft. I went cruising in, gave it the gas. Wah! Boom!
No landing.
Landed in the flat after the dang thing. And those sleds don't have any flipping suspension.
Zero.
You watched
I
it?
saw the whole thing. You know when we jumped the R6 last video and it bottomed out? That's what it was like.
The R1.
The R1,
Or,
yeah.
Sorry, R1. There's just no suspension. All you heard the plastics crunch.
Oh, yeah,
it
my
was
back.
so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why you did that.
Yeah, I don't either. It went way bigger than I was planning.
We were so young. You guys,
I'd have been 12 or 13.
it was to the point where I remember you guys couldn't hardly pull them. Like
No.
pull the pull start.
Yeah.
They'd never run.
Yeah.
And you guys could barely pull the pull start.
Yep. So I can't say that those are what got us into snowmobiling. We had some fun on them, but we spent more time pulling them and trying to get them to run than we ever did riding them.
We
And
never
snowmobiles-
rode them outside of the yard.
No.
It was no mountain riding. It was just backyard putting around.
And snowmobiles are such a money gobbling sport that, you know, times were tough, and so that was just never in the cards for us, because it was just snowmobiling is just expensive.
Yeah. So essentially all those years passed by, and I started dating my wife, and we were sitting there at grandma's house talking to to Jordan, our how would he beat us?
He's our aunt's husband,
Aunt's
so I guess
husband.
he's our uncle.
Uncle
Which Jordan?
in-law.
Jordan Snar.
Jordan Snow.
Oh,
So he had a RMK 800, and he's like, dude, I'll sell you one. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm looking for a sled. How much do you want for it? He's like, give me $300. It runs?
Done.
Yeah, done. All right, perfect.
oh my gosh!
So-
I
And that
remember
what
this
what
now.
year
Yeah.
was that? It was like an 02.
It was an 02, yeah.
Yeah, it was an 02 Polaris 800.
Yeah, and it had a pipe on. It was loud.
Oh yeah.
Like the loudest sled I've ever heard.
And this is in what, 2016? 2015. 2015,
2016. So I went eventually picked it up, brought it home, didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even I think I cleaned the
Never
carb.
worked on a snowmobile ever
Yeah.
before.
Cleaned the carbs, ran pretty decent, brought it up to her family's house, and up in up by Jackson Hole, you know, a lot of snow, good riding, steep stuff. I remember playing around on it, and everybody kind of like more or less, without being totally rude, made fun of it, because it was just this loud hillbilly everything. It was ripped up,
Had
like,
about an inch of clearance.
yeah, like it was a cat's bed for like 10 years. Like it was just, you know, it wasn't a really super nice sled, and everybody was on nice sleds. But I was like, this is fun. And I remember going for a ride with her brother-in-law, and we went up the canyon, and there was a river, and I'd watch him jump over the river, and then he'd climb a hill, and I'd watch the snow come down after he climbed it, and I was just, this is insane. How is that even possible? That you on a machine can do that? And then he'd put his wife on it and climb these big old huge hills. I'm like, these guys are nuts. Freaking nuts. And then I wanted more of that. I wanted to get into it, so I bought my wife a nicer sled so she could go and we could go. And then pretty soon it was every chance I could get to be on a sled, I was. Then I got my own sled. And then after, I was like, you know what? Like, I only go see those guys so often. I've got to get my brothers into sleds. And you guys were not able to do it at the time. You were in high school.
You're
Alex-
definitely the one to blame for us getting
it's your
into
fault
it.
for sure. But
yeah, I mean,
that's
it
a good
wasn't
thing.
totally my fault.
No,
for
it's
me
your fault.
into it.
So, do you remember though? We took that 800, that 02, out up the canyon just a little ways.
Yeah.
And Kirst was
My wife.
Kirst is Brady's wife, and she was like, kind of.
We were dating.
She knew who to. You were dating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. See, they were dating, and Kirst knows how to ride. I don't know how to ride, and so we pulled this thing out of the back of the truck, and we just unload it just like on this little hill. And she's like, "Hey, do you want to go?"
We were going sledding, like with
Like
sleds.
yeah, with like
saucer.
oh yeah, I
Down
think
a
we had
hill.
our snowboards. We were gonna build a jump.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she's like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I hop on the back of that thing with her, and you know, I'm like 16, and you know, I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of thought we would just, you know, start putting around. You know, that's all I've ever seen on a snowmobile. And she starts it, or Brady maybe had to go over and start it. Kirsty's like, what, 5'2"?
5'3", yeah.
Yeah, like tiny.
Super soft spoken.
Yeah, just
Very mellow.
so I'm just thinking we're gonna kind of ride it around. She gets on this thing, and I'm holding on like not very tight, and she
Mashes it.
floors it like to the bar.
Immediately.
right from where we were parked, and just starts hanging off the side and one skiing in this snow. And I'm like, my heart is pounding, and I'm like, you know, terrified that I'm gonna get caught in the track if I fall off. You know, I just don't know, you know.
Mhm.
And like, she thought it was so funny that it scared me to freaking death. In the snow, you know, snowmobile's loud, and when you're not used to that kind of thing,
Yeah.
you're not expecting it. It scared me so bad. And I had so much respect for Kirsten after that. I was like, dude, she freaking mobs. And she does on a snowmobile.
I remember after that, she comes and shuts it off. She's like, Alex, you want to go? I was like,
No.
not with you.
Yeah. I remember too, this is just a side note, she hopped on, I think, by herself and went and ripped it. And Alex turned and looked at me and said, and you haven't asked her to marry you yet? Because we were dating.
I remember that.
And I was like, oh,
Like, she's pretty cool. She's ripping a sled
Yeah, that's a good point.
harder than us three could.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just I feel like every year it just got deeper and deeper and deeper. I was like, first sled got me into it. Then the next sled was a little nicer. It was a little more reliable. Then it was like the next year, okay, my wife has a sled. I'm going to get my own sled. And it was kind of a turd. Fixed it up, sold it, then got a nicer sled.
And then we fast forward to last year.
Yeah.
You bought your very first like actual nice turboed sled. And I remember you paid like 10 grand for it or something like that. Steel. And I remember thinking, $10,000?
Yeah, me too.
What,
We're used to dirt bikes that, we'd spend $3,000 on a dirt bike.
And that was
like
balling. $10,000, you Elon Musk? Like, what are you on?
And in my defense, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a $10,000 snowmobile. It was more like, this is what I do with her family. We do so much together with you guys, jeeping. We spend a lot of money, like just doing our hobbies, boating, all that. This is what I do with her family. So it was my justification to be like, I'm gonna buy a sled, me a sled, and her a sled, so we can go be with her family and do the things that they love.
I think that's pretty, I think
reasonable.
But everybody, and I bought a sled last year too, and it was just an NA 800 or 850. It was a great sled, and I remember everybody saying like, I was like, I don't need the turbo thing. That's just excessive. That's ridiculous. I don't need. No one needs that. No one can ride that to their ability. And everybody's like, well, if you don't want to buy a turboed snowmobile, just make sure you don't ride one. And I made the mistake of riding your snowmobile last year, and I thought, somebody can just have this NA sled. This is just ridiculous. And so we sold the sleds, and this year we definitely have the snowmobile bug for sure.
I don't know what's scarier, a turboed sled or an R1. They're like equally as terrifying. I remember when you came home with your snowmobile, you're like, dude, just take it up the driveway. And I gave it gas, and that boost built, it scared the crap out of me. I'm like, how do you hold on to this thing?
I think a turboed snowmobile would absolutely destroy an R1. Like if you had an R1 on the road and you were next to it with a turboed snowmobile and you both hit the gas, the R1 would get smoked.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It would off the bat, right off the jump.
Just because there's no gears.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You should have rode that R1.
I'm not saying it's not fast. I'm just saying
terrifying.
I don't think there is a piece of machinery that has more power to weight than a snowmobile. They're just they're out of hand. Maybe we should make that video. What would win in a race? R1 versus a turboed snowmobile. We find a road somewhere with snow. It's like a warmer day. The road's dry, and then there's snow on the side of the road, and we figure out which one of those is faster.
That would be kind of sketchy.
Yeah, I don't really want to be the one riding the R1.
We don't have an R1 anymore.
We've got an R1 guy though.
Who?
You're our R1 guy.
I will ride it around the neighborhood. I am not going 150 on that thing. And I don't want to go 150 on a sled either.
We're not going no 150 miles, nothing.
The guy that we bought that R1 from said he hit 180 on that thing. And allegedly. And I don't understand how a human could push themselves to do that.
100 miles,
that's terrifying.
100 over 100 miles an hour in a vehicle is a little bit like
flying.
We really ought to start thinking about how fast we're going, because one thing wrong happens. I think that's the problem with us. You're not really that afraid of the speed. You're afraid of something going wrong, hitting 180
at some point.
Yeah,
we're so mechanically
because everything we have breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if a tire popped going 180, you would just be grated cheese on the road. Oh, man.
Be pretty bad. I brought up the snowmobile thing mostly just because that's all I've been thinking about for the last
Same.
2 weeks.
That's a problem.
It's terrible, and there's no snow.
I try to get work done, but all of my tabs on my Google Chrome is just
Snowmobile parts.
yeah, a new tether, a new lightweight battery, a new wrap, all these things. And I'm like, I just need to focus because this is all I can think about, and it's your fault.
I feel like we have it worse than you. You don't seem to be that, like...
You guys are a lot more into, like, looking cool. You know, you love your wrap a certain way. You love to match everything. You like that kind of stuff. I don't care much about that stuff. I want to go ride and have fun. You know, I like to be on a nice sled that's reliable. I have a few little ideas for my sled. You know, I'd like to change some colors or whatever, but
I thought you didn't like to look cool.
How come? Yeah, why are you doing that?
I have a little bit of that.
I thought you just want to ride.
This is the crap I get with these guys. Just own it. Come on.
No,
you
I
guys
think
like to
for
look
sure.
That's
cool.
what I'm saying. I think I'm into it
Absolutely.
more than you are. I think that's all it is.
I don't. When it's time to go sledding, I guarantee you don't want to go worse than me. I want to go as bad as everybody else does.
Yeah, that probably works. I'm excited to use that new freaking Sharmac with the heater, dude.
It's a game. That was actually the other thing that Alex said before he bought a sled. He's like, "How do we have this trailer now, and I don't have a sled? I have to have a sled.
No
now."
one had a sled. We're like, we
had
have
0 sleds in the shop.
the best snowmobile trailer ever made, and none of us had a sled. I was like, this isn't right. And then I started thinking, I'm like, they're going to get to go out with their sleds and this freaking nice trailer. I'm not going to be there because I don't have one. I'm like, no, I'm getting one. I'm using that Sharmac. We're using the boot dryers in that thing.
The heated cabinets.
Yep.
Oh.
And when is this probably going to drop? Wednesday?
Yeah.
So Mom will have found out that we also looped Dad in this. Mom doesn't know yet, but we're going to probably pick up a new snowmobile for Dad tomorrow or today.
And Dad has not been in snowmobiling at all either.
No,
never.
Since those indies.
Yeah.
And he, like, the best part of it, I mean, snowmobiling is fun. When you're out there, it's a riot. But to me, what I love is us three getting our mono suits on, getting our boots on in the trailer, and we're laughing and telling jokes, and Dad's there with us. And, like, I am so excited that Dad is getting in on this. I could die.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people in whatever you're into, racing, dirt biking, it's not just when I hop on my bike and I go, hit the starting line.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. It's I'm going to get off school early on Friday because we're going to the race.
Yeah.
And it's looking forward to that. I got to have all my work done or whatever so I can leave.
And I got to put that new clutch lever on before I go.
I'm going to get checked out of school, and then, we're going to head back and do this. Like, whatever the situation is, it's the whole entire event.
And it has a ton to do with who's there.
Yeah.
Like boating. If me and you just went boating and it would just, I'm good.
Yeah, I'd probably go drown myself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I go that far.
Okay, probably not that.
But if you're going boating with the funnest people there's nothing better than that. I think that's the same thing with snowmobiling, same thing with jeeping. Mm-hmm. It's all about who you're there with.
Yeah, and you got to enjoy the whole thing, because if you just think, okay, this is going to be fun when I hop on that sled, you're going to have some fun, but it's going to be a little bit of a letdown. You've got to enjoy it from the second it becomes a plan. Make that plan and enjoy the whole entire thing, even the ride home. You know,
and the soreness the next morning.
Would you guys be down to spending the night up there?
No.
In the mountains?
Yeah, like if we went clear in the backcountry and we did a video where we like spend the night somewhere.
What do you mean somewhere?
It
Just
gets
up
like
in the mountains.
-10. I don't want to be up there in -10.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'm not surprised.
You have to do it now, Alex. 2 against 1.
I feel like that would be super cool to just see, like, I mean, you hear every now and again of somebody, the sled breaking down and them getting stuck or separated, and they've got to spend the night up there. And I've always wondered,
And
like,
most of them don't make it.
dude, no, I feel like a lot of people, like, I mean, if you
Okay,
could,
I've made that up. Some of them don't make it though.
I just want to know what that would be like, I mean, you couldn't fully understand what that would be like. And maybe I don't want to know exactly what it would be like, because that would be, you're going to be there against your will, and that's not cool. But anyways, so you're not down, Brady's down, we'll just do it.
You guys really wouldn't. No way.
They have little bug out cabins, in
There's
certain
one up
spots.
there somewhere.
That would be better.
There's one up there somewhere.
There's probably spiders, Alex.
I don't give a flip about spiders.
And I don't know if there's a
Caleb's
hot shower
spider
either.
guy.
Yeah,
Shower's a problem, but we'll deal with that.
There's no hot chocolate sitting in the bathtub.
Nope.
You can sitting in the bathtub.
Oh.
Listen, a cabin would be cool. Sitting there in -10 in the dark when there could be bears, coyotes, wolves just licking their chops looking at you. That I don't think you guys can blame me that doesn't sound fun.
I don't think a bear would be licking his chops looking at you. Like,
Not
I
much
think you're
on
gonna
me.
need a little bit more gristle for you to look
Yeah,
delicious.
you should be the one that's worried. You've got the most to offer.
Hey,
Unless the bear needed a toothpick, then
Hey,
that's
well,
something to be kind of scared
sounds
about.
like I'll be the last one to get killed then. Yeah, I need to stop thinking about snowmobiling. Right after this, I need to call the dealer to get some parts coming.
We have a big week this week, like probably the busiest week that we've had in quite some time to get that thing in like production, like moving.
You talking the trophy truck?
The trophy truck. So
yeah,
we can't be in
need to get
snowmobile
this.
mode.
Yeah, we need to get this trophy truck moving. Like, and it's gonna take one of those, because like the motor's not even out of the R1 yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna take, just like we were talking last night. You go get your greasy clothes on. You get your freaking, like, I put my safety glasses on, my safety goggles, and we just start cutting into stuff, because we just can't look back.
The problem is we have to order everything
Mhm.
the earliest we can to get it as soon as we can.
And the thing that's hard is you can't really order it till you know what it looks like in there.
So you're kind of stuck in limbo of like, what do I do? Do I just take a day and tear into it and then order stuff? Or do I hope to order the right thing and then cut into it so it's here the next day?
I feel like that's not you can't be thinking that. You are a get it done dude. You are a let's go cut those bars off and let's just see what we can get done.
Well, you think about tires and wheels, and it's like, well, let's just get those coming. And then it's like, well, what bolt pattern? It's like, are we going to use those hubs? And it's like, well, what hubs can we use? And then it's like, oh, that
Depends on-
totally,
Yeah.
that's a rabbit hole that just took you away from your main purpose. You can't order anything.
That's why we're just leaving it up to Brady to make the call. This morning I spent all freaking morning working on the next merch drop and the next giveaway, and Brady's job was to figure out the swap. So
By the way, this next giveaway, insane. I cannot believe
we're
what we are
actually
giving away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
did-
believe you're okay with it.
Dude, I didn't want to. I'm still struggling with it. I'm excited that it's going to go to somebody who has supported us. I'm sure, it usually is those kind of people, but it's going to hurt to see that one
It
go.
is going to be sad.
It is a little bit, but it's gonna
But
be
very exciting for whoever gets it.
It's exciting. It's exciting too for us because the more and more that we keep doing this, the more and more connected that we kind of get to the people that are supporting us too. And it's fun. Like we've loved all of the things that we've given away, but we've never really given away something with this much attachment. So it should be good.
That's going to be a fun announcement. And it's not that far away. I want to say like 2 weeks
2
it
weeks.
drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. So we got a lot to do to get ready for that. This week's a big week. I I think that's kind of all. Is it just we just have the trophy truck to do, the giveaway stuff? Oh, the giveaway ended already, so we're gonna be calling the winner soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be fun.
That's another thing that's got to get done this week is
That's a
figuring out
lot
who
of
the
work.
winner is.
I'm stoked to see what they're gonna choose between those 3 bikes.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
really
gonna-
gonna be sad when any of them leave. Like,
Oh, dude,
they're
if they
so
choose if they
fun.
choose a Yamaha, I'm gonna be sick.
any one of them. Those bikes, dude. Why are they so fun?
I don't know.
I love them. Like, I'll just go hop on one and just start ripping it around, wheeling it. Like, it's just a little outlet. It's not a full-size bike, so it's not way loud and you need a huge space to ride them. You just wheelie around and drive it to your house and back. Like, they're so fun. At least we'll have 2 still.
Yeah, we'll save up and maybe get another one day. Then we can all 3 have one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a good time. Anyways, that's all we got today. Thank you for tuning in, and be on the lookout for this next giveaway because I'm still in shock that it's happening. But anyways, thanks for all the support, and we'll see you guys next week.